Understanding subtle signs of attraction. The power of nonverbal communication. Attraction is a complex and multifaceted subject that stretches far beyond physical appearance or direct words. Often, it is not just what we say that reveals our feelings, but how we act, how we move, and even how we look. When it comes to romantic or personal attraction, nonverbal cues often speak louder than verbal expressions. As someone deeply involved in studying Stoic philosophy and human behavior, we come to understand that the true nature of human connections is not always found in overt actions or conversations, but in the subtler, more meaningful exchanges we share, often unnoticed by those who aren't attuned to them. In the realm of attraction, understanding these subtle signs becomes a powerful tool, not only for romantic interactions, but for our deeper understanding of human nature, connection, and personal growth. 1. Lingering glance. The silent communication of eyes, one of the most powerful and immediate signs of attraction, comes from something as simple, yet profound, as eye contact. It is often said that the eyes are the windows to the soul. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius understood that a person's true nature could be seen through their eyes. While our words can be manipulated or hidden, our gaze often betrays the truth of our feelings. When a woman maintains eye contact a little longer than usual, or when her gaze lingers in a way that doesn't immediately shift, it is often a powerful indication that she feels something deeper. According to psychological studies, prolonged eye contact increases intimacy between people. When someone looks at you for longer than socially expected, it's a subtle signal of interest, curiosity, and connection. This is an example of the ancient Stoic principle that actions often speak louder than words, and the gaze itself is a form of action. In the case of attraction, eye contact can cause our pupils to dilate, a biological response that is nearly impossible to control. This physiological reaction occurs subconsciously and reveals something even deeper. When someone's pupils dilate in your presence, it means their body is responding to a deeper connection, signaling their attraction to you, even if they are unaware of it. For example, imagine a situation where a woman is engaged in conversation with you and, without realizing it, she maintains eye contact longer than normal. Perhaps she's interested in what you're saying, but it's more than that. Her body is signaling an attraction that might not yet be vocalized. The warmth in her gaze, paired with a slight smile, reveals something more than mere politeness. This nonverbal communication is the first unspoken step toward understanding the depth of her feelings. 2. The subtle touch, the physical language of intimacy. Moving on from eye contact, another common yet often overlooked sign of attraction is touch. Humans, in their very nature, crave connection. Touch is an essential human need, and it is in our biological wiring to feel drawn to physical contact with those we are attracted to. The Stoics, while teaching restraint, also acknowledged the power of human touch as an essential form of connection. Marcus Aurelius himself noted that the bonds between individuals were often solidified through shared physical presence. When a woman subtly touches you, perhaps a light brush of the arm or a playful nudge, it might seem insignificant at first glance. However, this touch is far from random. According to psychological research, even the most casual of touches can spark feelings of trust, warmth, and emotional connection. These touches might be fleeting, but they serve as a direct, physical manifestation of interest. The act of touch transcends words and conveys a message that verbal communication simply cannot. Imagine walking with a woman down a crowded street, and as you both talk, she lightly brushes her hand against your arm. This gesture, while brief, holds significant meaning. It is an instinctive form of connection that breaks the physical barrier between you and her. At a subconscious level, she may be communicating comfort, safety, and, importantly, attraction. From a Stoic perspective, the connection between two people isn't merely about personal desires or fleeting feelings. It is about the deeper acknowledgement of another person as part of your shared human experience. Touch, in this sense, acts as a bridge, an emotional extension of mutual respect and understanding. In the context of attraction, touch also triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This hormone fosters trust, strengthens relationships, and builds intimacy. When a woman makes a small physical gesture toward you, it might not just be an innocent act. It's an invitation to connect on a deeper level. 3. The unspoken compliment, admiration without words, one of the most fascinating aspects of human interaction, especially in the context of attraction, is the ability to communicate admiration without using words. This is often seen in the subtle and unspoken compliments that women offer when they are attracted to someone. A woman who is secretly drawn to you may admire your qualities or actions, but instead of expressing this verbally, she may convey her admiration through body language, tone of voice, or even the way she talks about your achievements. In this sense, admiration isn't just about verbal praise. It's often found in the way she listens intently to your stories, the thoughtful nods she gives as you speak, or the way she expresses genuine interest in your endeavors. These forms of silent compliments create a feeling of warmth and validation without being overt. This kind of nonverbal compliment can be quite powerful. It is rooted in the Stoic belief that true admiration is not about seeking validation from others, but about acknowledging and valuing the virtues and qualities that make a person admirable. It's about recognizing something beyond the surface, seeing the inner beauty that lies beneath. A perfect example of this would be a woman who listens to you talk about your work or a personal project with a level of genuine curiosity that goes beyond surface-level politeness. As you speak, she doesn't just nod. She's invested in what you're saying. Her tone of voice might soften, and her smile might be warmer. These small but significant signs indicate that she is not only admiring what you're doing, but is also drawn to the qualities within you that make you unique. Such silent forms of appreciation are often more telling than direct compliments. They provide a glimpse into the depth of her attraction and create a deeper sense of connection between the two of you. 4. The engaging conversations, emotional connection through dialogue. When a woman is truly interested in you, her conversations with you will not only focus on superficial topics, but will delve into deeper, more meaningful discussions. This is another sign that often goes unnoticed but can reveal much about her emotional state. In the context of attraction, meaningful conversations serve as a powerful tool for building emotional intimacy and understanding. A woman who is secretly attracted to you will seek to engage with you on a deeper level. This means moving beyond small talk and asking thoughtful questions about your values, your dreams, and your personal experiences. She wants to know who you are as a person, not just on a surface level, but on an emotional and intellectual level. In these moments, the conversation may flow naturally, with both of you sharing personal anecdotes or discussing shared interests. This back-and-forth exchange of ideas creates a sense of emotional connection, which is a crucial component of any romantic or personal relationship. For example, think of a scenario where a woman begins asking about your childhood experiences, what your aspirations are, or how you view the world. These questions are not just about gathering information, they are about understanding you, building a bridge between your emotional selves. In Stoic philosophy, the importance of dialogue and understanding cannot be overstated. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the value of meaningful connections with others. To truly understand someone, he said, is to recognize their virtues, their struggles, and their humanity. Engaging in meaningful conversations is a way to do just that. It allows both parties to deepen their connection and enrich their understanding of one another. The art of subtle communication. As we delve deeper into the subtle signs of attraction, it becomes increasingly clear that human connections are built on a foundation of nonverbal cues and emotional understanding. These signs of attraction, whether through lingering glances, casual touches, unspoken compliments, or meaningful conversations, are the very essence of human interaction. The key to recognizing these signals lies not in overtly seeking them, but in cultivating an awareness of the silent language of attraction. These subtle behaviors, backed by psychological research, offer us a deeper insight into the emotions and feelings that people may not vocalize. In the next part of this exploration, we will dive deeper into the emotional and psychological aspects of attraction, sharing real-world examples and discussing how these signs of attraction play out in everyday life. By understanding these signs, we can not only build stronger, more meaningful relationships, but also gain a better understanding of ourselves and the people around us. The hidden language of attraction. Exploring the emotional depths. In the first part, we began to scratch the surface of the powerful, yet subtle signs that reveal attraction. focusing primarily on the nonverbal cues that often go unnoticed. Now, let us dive deeper into the emotional and psychological aspects of attraction. These are the hidden realms where connection truly thrives, where unspoken emotions manifest themselves, and where relationships, both romantic and platonic, begin to blossom. As we progress through this exploration, we will take a closer look at how emotional openness, vulnerability, and mutual respect play crucial roles in the development of genuine connections. But beyond theory, we will ground these concepts in real-world examples to make them more tangible and relatable. 5. The subtle gestures, the language of care and attention when it comes to expressing attraction. Actions often speak louder than words. Subtle gestures are one of the most telling signs of emotional investment. These are the small, often unconscious actions that a woman may perform to express her interest and care without verbally expressing her feelings. From a Stoic perspective, we are reminded that virtue is not simply about what we say, but what we do. A Stoic's actions align with their values, and in the same vein, a person's actions can reveal deeper emotions, values, and intentions. This principle applies directly to attraction. When someone is drawn to you, they often demonstrate it through gestures that go beyond surface-level courtesy. For example, a woman might remember a small detail about something you said in passing, like your favorite band, a book you mentioned, or an experience you once had. The next time you meet, she might bring up that subject again, or even give you a thoughtful gift related to that detail. This small, seemingly trivial act is much more than just remembering your preferences. It's a reflection of how she values you enough to pay attention to what you say, and how she seeks to connect with you on a deeper level. In a personal anecdote, I once had a conversation with a colleague about a book I had recently read. It was a casual remark, but a week later, she handed me a copy of the same book as a gift. It wasn't just about the book. It was the act of remembering, of recognizing the small things that make up a person's world, and the desire to make a connection. This act, though small, was a clear indicator of her interest, showing how attraction is often hidden in these simple yet meaningful gestures. 6. Emotional openness. The gateway to authentic connection. One of the most profound ways that attraction reveals itself is through emotional openness. This goes beyond the casual exchange of pleasantries or surface-level conversations. Emotional openness involves sharing one's inner thoughts, vulnerabilities, fears, and dreams, a deeper level of connection that cannot be faked. It is not simply about sharing your favorite hobbies, but about being willing to reveal the most intimate parts of yourself. From a psychological standpoint, emotional vulnerability is often the catalyst for deeper connections. When someone is attracted to you, they are more likely to open up about their fears, personal struggles, and even their ambitions. In many ways, this is the essence of connection. As the philosopher Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Similarly, emotional openness isn't about seeking validation or praise, but about the act of sharing from the heart with someone you trust. Let me give you an example from a personal experience. I once met a woman who, over the course of several conversations, slowly revealed her fears about the future, her struggles with career choices, and her aspirations. Initially, these conversations seemed like simple exchanges, but as they continued, I realized that her willingness to share these personal details was a sign that she valued our connection. It was not about her seeking reassurance or approval, but rather it was her way of saying, "I trust you enough to be open with you." The Stoics believed that true wisdom is rooted in understanding and embracing one's emotions, not hiding them. In this context, emotional openness is a sign that someone is comfortable enough with you to share their true self. It is the foundation of any strong relationship, whether it be romantic, familial, or platonic. 7. Respectful engagement. The key to mutual admiration. Respect is often considered the cornerstone of any successful relationship. But respectful engagement, particularly in the context of attraction, goes far beyond simple politeness. Respectful engagement occurs when someone shows genuine interest in you as a person, not just as an object of attraction, but as a whole individual with thoughts, experiences, and perspectives that matter. When a woman is attracted to you, she will listen actively, remember what you say, and treat your opinions with genuine curiosity. This shows that she values not only your external qualities, but also your intellect, your ideas, and your emotional world. As Marcus Aurelius taught, true respect is about seeing others as equal partners in the shared journey of life, acknowledging their humanity, their strengths, and their flaws. A concrete example of this can be seen in the way a woman might engage with you during conversations. If she actively listens, remembers key points from past discussions, and asks follow-up questions that show a deeper understanding of you, she's demonstrating that she values you and is genuinely interested in getting to know you better. It is an engagement that goes beyond superficial interactions, reaching into the realm of true emotional respect. Respectful engagement is not simply about acknowledging someone's words. It is about recognizing their worth as a person. It is about treating them with dignity and empathy, and not reducing them to an object of desire or a mere conversational partner. 8. The role of vulnerability in building emotional intimacy. Vulnerability is perhaps one of the most misunderstood aspects of attraction. Many people perceive vulnerability as a weakness, something to be hidden or avoided. However, vulnerability, when expressed in the right context, is a powerful tool for deepening connections and building emotional intimacy. In relationships, vulnerability often manifests itself through sharing personal challenges, doubts, or insecurities. In romantic attraction, this can be seen when someone opens up about their true feelings, their fears, or their desires without fear of judgment. When a woman is secretly attracted to you, her willingness to be vulnerable in front of you shows that she trusts you, respects you, and is open to building a genuine emotional connection. The Stoics, in their practice of emotional resilience, understood the importance of vulnerability, not as a weakness, but as a source of strength. By embracing vulnerability, we allow ourselves to connect with others on a deeper level, transcending the superficial aspects of attraction and moving towards something more authentic and enduring. 9. Real-life example. The silent dance of attraction. Let me share with you a personal story that illustrates many of the principles we've discussed so far. A few years ago, I had the privilege of working alongside a colleague who was extremely reserved in the workplace. She was kind and professional, but always kept her personal life to herself. One day, while discussing a project, I noticed her gaze lingering a little longer than usual when our eyes met. There was a subtle shift in her body language. Her posture became slightly more open, and her smile lingered a little longer. At first, I thought I was imagining things. But then, over the following weeks, I began to notice the small signs that showed she was interested. Her touch became more frequent. Light taps on my shoulder when she passed by, or a casual brush of the arm. There were unspoken compliments, too. She'd mention how impressed she was with my work, always in a way that felt natural and genuine, without being overt. Finally, one afternoon, she opened up about a personal challenge she was facing in her life, a moment of vulnerability that changed everything. It wasn't a dramatic confession, but it was enough for me to realize that her attraction wasn't just physical. She trusted me with something deeply personal, and that was the moment when everything fell into place. The power of emotional and psychological connection through the exploration of emotional openness, subtle gestures, and respectful engagement. We have seen how attraction is much more than physical chemistry. It is a dance of emotional connection, a subtle language of vulnerability, respect, and understanding. By recognizing these signs, we open ourselves to deeper relationships that go beyond the superficial and into the realm of authentic connection. As we move forward in this series, we will take a closer look at how to nurture these relationships, how to respond to attraction in ways that honor both your own emotions and those of the person you are drawn to. Understanding these signs and their deeper meaning is just the first step. The next is learning how to engage with them consciously and thoughtfully. In the final part of this exploration, we will delve into how to build and sustain meaningful relationships, how to use these insights to foster connection, and how to avoid the pitfalls of superficial attraction. Stay tuned for the final chapter, where we will share actionable advice and real-world strategies for transforming subtle attraction into lasting emotional bonds. Nurturing attraction into a lasting emotional bond. In the first two parts, we've explored the subtle, often unnoticed signs of attraction, delved into the psychology behind them, and discussed the emotional depth that forms the foundation of genuine connections. Now, we will focus on how to nurture these connections, turning fleeting attraction into lasting emotional bonds. By understanding the signs, you have already gained insight into someone's feelings. But how do you build on that insight? How do you cultivate a deeper, more meaningful relationship? Attraction, in its purest form, is a spark, something that catches your attention, ignites curiosity, and draws you closer. However, attraction, by itself, is not enough to sustain a relationship. It is how you respond to those initial cues, how you engage emotionally and intellectually, and how you build trust that turns initial attraction into lasting intimacy. This section will focus on how to do just that. 10. Moving beyond superficial attraction. The importance of emotional availability. While the initial signs of attraction are exciting and energizing, the transition from initial interest to meaningful connection requires emotional availability. Emotional availability is the ability to be open, vulnerable, and genuinely present in the moment. It is the willingness to not only share your thoughts and feelings, but to also be receptive to those of others. When someone is emotionally available, they are open to connecting on a deeper level. They are not only interested in superficial interactions or casual flirtations, but in developing a true emotional bond. This is crucial for creating a lasting relationship because, without emotional availability, even the most intense initial attraction will eventually fizzle out. Take, for example, the dynamics of a relationship where emotional availability is lacking. Imagine a situation where one person is constantly withdrawing or avoiding deeper emotional exchanges, perhaps out of fear or insecurity. Over time, this avoidance can create a barrier between the two individuals, despite the initial attraction. In contrast, a relationship where both people are emotionally available thrives because both are willing to open up and share their authentic selves, making the connection stronger and more meaningful. A personal story comes to mind. I once had a friend who was drawn to someone purely on a physical level. At first, the attraction was undeniable, but over time, it became clear that they were both emotionally unavailable. One person was hesitant to share their vulnerabilities, while the other preferred to keep things light and fun, never delving too deeply into the emotional side of the relationship. As a result, despite the strong initial attraction, the connection never deepened, and the relationship eventually fizzled out. The lesson here is clear. Without emotional availability, even the strongest attraction will struggle to thrive. 11. Building trust. The cornerstone of any lasting relationship, one of the key ingredients to turning attraction into a lasting emotional bond is trust. Trust is the foundation upon which all meaningful relationships are built. Without trust, even the most powerful attraction will falter, as it is trust that allows both individuals to feel safe, secure, and open with one another. In the early stages of attraction, trust may take time to develop, but it can be nurtured through consistent actions and behaviors that demonstrate reliability, honesty, and respect. The Stoics believe that trust is developed through consistent virtuous actions, doing what is right even when no one is watching. Similarly, in relationships, trust is built not through grand gestures but through the small, consistent actions that demonstrate reliability and integrity. It's about being there when you say you will be, following through on promises, and respecting each other's boundaries. One powerful example of how trust plays a role in attraction comes from a relationship I observed between two colleagues. Initially, their connection was casual, mutual respect, light banter, and an attraction that was evident but unspoken. Over time, however, their bond grew as they began to trust each other with more personal details, with their vulnerabilities, and with their lives outside of work. What solidified their connection was not just their attraction to one another, but their ability to be honest, open, and reliable in every aspect of their interaction. Trust, once established, deepened their connection and laid the groundwork for a lasting relationship. 12. The role of communication. Deepening the connection while nonverbal cues are incredibly important in understanding attraction. Communication, especially open, honest, and transparent communication, is key to turning attraction into a lasting bond. The deeper you communicate, the stronger the connection becomes. Communication doesn't just mean talking about your day or discussing surface-level topics. It means being vulnerable, sharing your deepest fears, hopes, and dreams, and allowing the other person to do the same. In many relationships, especially early on, there can be a tendency to avoid tough conversations or to hide feelings for fear of rejection. However, true emotional connection comes from engaging in these difficult discussions. When two people are able to communicate openly and without fear, it builds a level of trust and intimacy that is unmatched by any other aspect of a relationship. One of the most important aspects of communication in building emotional bonds is active listening. This means truly hearing what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Active listening fosters a sense of understanding and empathy, which are essential in creating and nurturing deep emotional connections. For instance, when someone shares their fears or concerns with you, responding with empathy rather than offering quick solutions can show that you genuinely care about their feelings. A story that highlights the power of communication comes from a couple I know who initially struggled with emotional connection. They had undeniable chemistry and mutual attraction, but communication was a barrier. They often assumed they knew what the other was thinking and failed to address underlying concerns. However, after several honest conversations, during which they shared their fears, past experiences, and emotional needs, their connection grew deeper. They learned how to communicate not only the happy moments but also the difficult ones, which strengthened their bond and transformed their attraction into a lasting, meaningful relationship. 13. The importance of patience. Letting attraction evolve naturally while attraction can spark quickly. The development of a deep, emotional bond takes time and patience. In our fast-paced world, where instant gratification is often sought, it can be tempting to rush through the stages of a relationship, trying to force it to evolve faster than it is naturally meant to. However, the Stoics remind us that patience is a virtue, a lesson that is particularly relevant in the context of attraction and relationships. Patience allows the connection to grow naturally. It allows both individuals the space and time to fully understand each other, to explore shared values, to build trust, and to emotionally invest in each other. When rushed, relationships may feel intense in the moment but lack the depth and stability that come from taking time to truly get to know one another. I once observed a relationship where both individuals were incredibly drawn to each other, but they took their time, respecting each other's boundaries and allowing the connection to evolve naturally. They didn't rush into labeling their relationship or defining it prematurely. Instead, they allowed the attraction to grow and develop into something deeper over time. Eventually, this patience led to a strong, lasting emotional bond that felt both natural and fulfilling. 14. Conclusion. The art of transforming attraction into connection. Attraction, in its most basic form, is an instinct, something that draws us to another person, an emotional or physical response that stirs our desires and curiosity. But true emotional connection requires more than that. It requires emotional availability, trust, communication, and patience. These qualities, cultivated over time, transform initial attraction into a lasting and meaningful bond. By recognizing the signs of attraction and understanding their deeper emotional and psychological roots, you are equipped with the tools to nurture these connections. As we've seen in this exploration, attraction is not just about the thrill of the initial spark. It is about the willingness to engage deeply, to open yourself up, and to share both the joys and vulnerabilities of life. When done with authenticity, this leads to connections that go beyond surface-level attraction, creating lasting, meaningful relationships that enrich your life in ways that transcend the physical or superficial. Ultimately, the true power of attraction lies not in what is initially felt, but in how it is nurtured and developed over time. Through emotional availability, trust, communication, and patience, you can transform any initial spark into a flame that burns brightly for years to come. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the psychology of attraction. I hope these insights help you cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections in your life. Keep in mind that the signs of attraction are just the beginning. What matters most is how you choose to respond to them and how you build relationships that are rich in emotional depth, understanding, and trust. If you found these insights helpful and want to, dive even deeper into understanding the psychology of attraction and building meaningful relationships, don't forget to hit that like button. Your support means the world to us and helps more people discover this valuable content. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. We've got more exciting topics coming your way that will help you improve your social skills and emotional intelligence. And, of course, share this video with friends or anyone you think could benefit from these insights. Let's spread the knowledge and help each other grow. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep building those meaningful connections.